Hi folks, I'm Joe and welcome to the channel. In this micro lesson, I wanted to talk about analyzing your guitar playing. I feel like this is just a critical skill that even I don't take enough time to do. Lots of times I'm just too busy learning something or recording that I don't really take time to sit back and analyze how I'm playing. So I wanted to give you some tips and tricks that I've been using to try to make myself a better player by just actively listening, but also by using my DAW as a tool to see how I can grow and become a better guitarist. So obviously the first step in analyzing your guitar playing might be very obvious to people. You have to start recording yourself. I'm not sure if you're familiar with this process or not, but it doesn't have to be anything fancy. It can be anything from recording on your phone to recording inside of your DAW if you have the ability to do that. Kind of recommend that as far as it allows you to do a little bit of a deeper advanced analysis of your playing, and I'll show you that in a second when I jump into my DAW, but doing a phone is just fine, and I'm going to encourage you to do two things. If you can, you can just do audio if you want to, but sometimes it's really nice to do a video of yourself playing. This way you can actually analyze your techniques, your guitar techniques. You can notice if you're picking funny, if you're doing anything like that, just by watching yourself play. Now, a key thing to do after you record yourself sometimes is to take a break. Everything's still fresh in your mind, so maybe just walk away for a couple of minutes, or even if you want to, even wait till the next day to come back to really analyze your playing in a very objective manner. So what are we listening for when we're analyzing our guitar playing? Well, two things come to mind for me. The first one is, are you in tune? Are you playing in tune? And this could be anything from tuning your guitar up properly to sometimes when we get nervous, we press down too hard on the fretboard, and that causes our notes to go sharp on the guitar. So we could be pressing down too hard when we're playing a chord, or for maybe bending a note, we're not bending quite up to the pitch. So you're really listening to make sure that you're first in tune. The other thing I think that you need to listen for is your timing. How's your timing? Are you fitting in the groove of the song? Are you also playing the notes for the proper duration of time? And when we jump into my DAW, I'll show you exactly what I mean, how I analyze those things in depth. But for me, those are the two things that I'm really looking for, is am I playing in tune? Am I playing in time? And the other thing too is, what's the overall feeling and vibe that I'm giving off in the music? When we're playing stressed and tensed up, I think that really comes out in the music. It doesn't allow us to kind of sink in and play from our heart, basically, and make sure that the music is flowing out of us, especially if it's a new part that you're learning. Sometimes it's great to really practice that part a lot so it becomes second nature to you, so when you go to record, it just sounds more natural when you're playing. Now, to get started to do objective analysis of your playing, a good exercise that you might want to try is record one of your favorite guitar parts, one of your favorite songs. And what you could do is, you can actually record it in such a way, maybe in your DAW, where you have the original track, the source file, if you will, that you're listening to, and then you also then play your guitar part underneath that. And you can A-B those, you can go back and forth, and you can actually start listening, hey, how am I playing compared to the original recording? Lots of times we do this when we're mixing music. We have a reference track, it's called. So we use a reference track to make sure that our EQ is proper and our compression is good and all that other fun stuff. Well, we can use this same concept to compare our playing to an original guitar part. And sometimes that might be just a great place to get started. Maybe there's a solo that you're working on. Well, put the original up, then do your recorded version, and then again, go back and forth between the two and compare. Are you holding the notes out the same duration of time that they are? How's your vibrato compared to what they're playing? How is the overall feel and pocket that you're playing the song in? These are very helpful things to do, so maybe start by thinking about having a reference track when you start this process. So here we are in my DAW, and I just wanted to show you a couple of examples of how I've been analyzing my guitar playing. A while back, I think it was last September, I really wanted to work more on my timing. What's nice about this is when you go through this process, you really start to learn your habits pretty quickly. So in this example here, I just really was doing a very simple pattern of quarter notes to eighth notes to triplets to 16th notes, just to a click track or a drum track. And what you can do is you can actually track your progress. So here you can see, here's day one of me recording this. And I went all the way through, I think, to 39 days. And I just practiced this every day just for a little bit, just to see if I can improve my timing. But look what's happening here. Let's go ahead and analyze a little bit what's going on. First, we'll listen to this horrible day one. So what do you notice? Well, when I'm analyzing my playing, clearly I'm way ahead of the beat. Every time I'm playing these things, I'm way ahead of the beat all the time. So my natural tendency seems to be I rush. I'm rushing to play. So again, this is kind of one way to analyze your playing is use your DAW. Use these tools that you have available to you to see when you're either ahead of the beat or behind the beat. And again, track your progress. That's what's kind of neat about this. So when I got to day 39, I wasn't perfect, but at least I was getting a little bit better to be on the beat here. So now you can see I'm starting on the beat. And here, look, I noticed this time I was actually a little bit behind the beat right here. And also look at the spaces in between. When you have this nice little grid, we can actually see, am I holding the note for the whole duration of time, that quarter note? Let's look at another example. We'll jump over here to maybe this track here. So here's another example of that. Here's a little bit of a bass line that I have for this Stones-inspired song. And if we go ahead and analyze the bass line, I can see I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good on the beat, but I do notice that I'm definitely not holding out the note for the whole duration of time that it deserves. So again, this is a little bit of a, I guess we're geeking out a little bit, getting a little too analytical about this. What about a rhythm track? Let's see how this rhythm track did as far as timing goes. Okay, not too bad. I'm pretty much on the beat, but if I zone in here a little bit on some parts, here I'm slightly behind, which is fine. You don't always have to be on the grid. I want to point that out, okay? There's different styles of music. Sometimes you do want to be pushing the beat a little bit. Sometimes you want to be more laid back. Now, for this types of Stone sound, I probably want to be more laid back like I am in this section here, but I can clearly see I'm not doing that all the time. I'm rushing a little bit on certain notes, certain chords. Yep, there I was ahead of time here too. And what I'm listening to though, does it sound too bad? Do I need to chop this up in my DAW and slide things on the grid? I don't think so. There's a lot of music that's done that way now where you're just kind of lining things up perfectly locked in, but to me it loses a little bit of the human element to it. Let's look at one more example. So in this example, I wanted to take a look at a lead line. These other examples I've been showing you mainly have been more rhythm-based as far as rhythm parts. Let's go ahead and listen to a lead line and see how we're doing. So what am I looking for and listening for? Again, I'm looking for my rhythm. It seems to be pretty good. It might be slightly ahead here, a little bit. I can see I'm again, this is my natural tendency. Again, another byproduct of doing this is you can really learn your habits so you could be more aware of them when you're going to record next time. And I'm also trying to listen to my pitch. So when I'm bending these notes, am I getting up to the proper pitch? Okay, let's isolate that one. I finally get there, but it's a really slow bend to get right up to the pitch. Let's see, let's check this one out. There we go. So hopefully this was helpful to you to look at and analyze a little bit of my own playing to give you some ideas. Again, kind of things that you're looking for are your timing and then your pitch. And then overall, listen to the song as a whole and try to be as objective as possible, as if this was a song on the radio. Even though you may be noticing these discrepancies even in my playing, overall though, does it sound bad? I'm not sure. Let's take a listen. in that case there, I really didn't notice I was rushing the beat too much. So to me, listening, kind of trying to be as objective as possible, I don't think it sounds too bad, but I do definitely see that there's areas for improvement. That's another micro lesson down. If you found any value in the video, please do me a favor. I'm really trying to grow the channel, and maybe help me out by subscribing down below, hitting the like button, and knocking the bell. All these things I really truly appreciate. And as always, I wish you a great day.